everyone. Dylan from the Smart Economy podcast. We're at Permissionless III, day 2, joined by Chris Lee, the founder of Ava Protocol. How's it going, Chris?
Good. Thank you for having me, Dylan.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I had a lot of fun kind of digging into your project last night to kind of get ready for this discussion. And you're kind of like an OG. You've been building on
2017. Yeah.
Right, but like you've been around, and you also come from like an interesting enterprise background. So if you could just kind of give us a little bit of your genesis into blockchain and crypto and why you had to work here, that'd be great.
Sure. I used to work at Microsoft as a senior software engineer at a messaging protocol for messaging protocol. Didn't like the corporate life, and Web3 is so much fun. I jump ship, left my day job in 2017, jumped into crypto, and never regretted it.
Yeah, I left in 2018, and haven't looked back since. You've got kind of like a nice Web3 resume, started coding in Ethereum. Maybe you had a little bit of a relationship with the foundation, built a game for Block 1. Could you just share a little bit of your arc through Web3?
Yeah, we tried a lot of things. So in the bear market of 2018 to 2020, I led a dev shop of 10 engineers, build a variety of stuff, Solidity programming, Ethereum smart contracts, and you mentioned the Block 1, the yields blockchain, gaming. So I have built mobile apps, Solidity smart contracts. That's a prediction market, like a generation 0 back in 2017, 2018, and the games on blockchains. And then Polkadot. We started Ava Protocol building on Polkadot, but now we're on Ethereum mainnet.
And so before we kind of like jump into Ava and what your experience is like building on Ethereum mainnet and doing restaking, what was like Web3 gaming like when you were building in Block 1? It felt like that back in the day, everyone was making fun of EOS for all the gambling games, and it was like a gambling chain, but like, what was the draw that had you building Web3 games then?
We start to see the gaming, Web3 gaming caught on during that time frame. That was before Axie Infinity. Actually, maybe the success of the gaming industry back in 2018, 2019 really got the Axie Infinity founder interested. So that was the early days, but we do get users. We had 500 daily active users on our games. So that was pretty good. You know, it was early.
Yeah. So you were building smart contracts and Solidity back in like the CryptoKitties days. You built on EOS. You went to Polkadot, and now you're back to Ethereum. What was the kind of circle? Why'd you do that whole journey? And how did you find yourself back in EVM land?
Yeah, it's like an adventure, right? Like you want to try different things. You know, we had so many blockchains. The only regret is that we didn't try Solana. That was a bad decision. But we did try different things. You know, like Solidity is like a smart contract programming is not perfect. Right? We have seen other blockchains, Polkadot having the better like Rust programming language. So when they try that, the decision was made. A big part of that is because Polkadot had account abstraction back in 2020.
Right.
But now Ethereum has it. Like the account abstraction that we are leveraging on Ethereum is very mature now. Coinbase has it, Alchemy has it, and some small companies. So right now, like Ethereum is much more mature, but we just underestimate how mature it could be within 2-year time frame.
Right.
Yeah. By the time we build all of our stuff, the account abstraction is mature. It's there. So we should have stake with Ethereum. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to kind of like imagine where this industry is going to go because everything can change from year to year.
Absolutely, and it's exploding. Actually, the development has been accelerating. We have seen so many modular components that developer can plug into their application. So actually, people don't realize this. You know, it's because of the market. But there's so much stuff happening on the ground, like at the development level, that allow regular JavaScript developer building powerful application, Web3 applications.
Yeah, so like the modularity and the composability for a developer is great, but maybe for like a token holder, I think the modularity and all these L2s, they might be siphoning value away from ETH as the asset. So maybe you can kind of like tell us a little bit about what Ava Protocol is doing, and we can kind of like change the conversation there.
Awesome. No financial advice, no tokens
NFA.
in this conversation. So what we do is that we build this First of all, we are an intent-centric eigenlayer ABS that seamlessly enable private autonomous super transactions for Ethereum and beyond L2s. We are leveraging account abstraction, eigenlayer ABS, and a proprietary event-driven execution model for our developers. Basically, we're enhancing dApps with scheduled payments, stop-loss trading orders, and streaming NFT rewards, and more. Those are like plug and play modular component to the applications. With this technology, also any Web3 users can schedule and automate functions across different blockchains, including Ethereum, ensuring efficient and reliable execution without compromising security.
Yeah, so you mentioned that you're kind of like an eigenlayer ABS. Was Ava Protocol building before eigenlayer launched, or did Ava Protocol kind of become conceptualized when eigenlayer was first kind of announced? Because eigenlayer has been talked about since 2021 and then finally launched this year.
Yeah, the technology, the event-driven execution engine has been built like even before. But when we see the solution for eigenlayer, I was like, this is on point because we can apply the execution engine onto eigenlayer as an ABS and serve the Ethereum mainnet. So personally, my assets are mostly on Ethereum mainnet, although the gas fee is a little higher, but that's the security, that's the trust. So I really want to do is that for any complex transactions, like high gas cost transactions, so our solution, our automation can automate that on Ethereum directly with the cheap off-chain storage that eigenlayer ABS brought us, that people don't need to move their asset around. So for example, for some developers, in order to get random number generation, they have to bridge their asset from Ethereum to layer 2s, get the random number generated like a decentralized solution, and put it back. It's a pain in the ass in terms of the development.
100%.
But it's such a simple and a key component to their application. For example, games.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how they do it.
It's incredible that EVM ETH still doesn't have an RNG on chain.
Yeah, there are. It's a high gas cost.
Yeah.
Imagine you have to do that 10,000 times a day. So that's how much gas cost you need to pay.
So from your perspective as providing a protocol for people who want to be able to leverage DeFi, NFT streaming, things of this nature, how does AVS provide better opportunities for you to provide services for your company or for your clients and customers as opposed to doing something like liquid staking?
So first of all, the eigenlayer network provide pretty good off-chain storage and computation to our ABS. So ABS, you can think of that as a service or a program. And eigenlayer network has brought us a huge amount of ETH backing. We are number 12 on eigenlayer, the number 12 on ABS with 1 million ETH backing. So we within 2 months after launch, we got the backing from the ETH holders, restaking ETH holders. So that just jumpstart our network. And now we can automate smart contract calls with API calls. And we're building a user interface so people can drag and drop like a Lego building block to compose let's say a trading strategy without any code.
So are you guys providing like a platform for traders, or are you providing a platform that people can build for traders?
Both.
Okay.
So what we imagine, so right now we work with the developers to solve their bespoke requirement. So from our exam use case, we reduced the dev cost by 70%, 70. So they love it, and they are the first batch of the users of our platform. But back to your question, what we want to do is that, let's say Dylan, you are good at create trading strategies. So we would ask you to create this template that any user can subscribe to. And if they make money from your trading strategy, we do revenue share. So the platform get a bottom fee and you get a top layer fees.
Very cool. And so that's like a benefit for platform users, but you're also kind of exploring the world of smart contract automation. So what does this mean for a developer who's curious in building on EVM, or what are the types of like services that you automate And how do you determine which sorts of smart contracts to provide these automation services for?
Yeah, I think in future, like when this technology becomes mature, all TypeScript, JavaScript, TypeScript, Python, Go, Rust developers can start to build what are Solidity smart contract today, because the computation are migrated from on-chain to off-chain. So we provide this solution to bridge the gap.
Interesting.
So imagine like the Web 2 world, how many developers, like they are like 100 times bigger talent pool. So we want to attract them, tell them, hey, now you can write this logic, like computational logic, serve the Web3 users with those like, the programming languages you're familiar with.
Right. So how is this possible then? Because EVM can only compile Solidity. So how can like me as a Go developer or a C# developer come into Ava Protocol and code something in the language that I know? Do you provide some sort of like proxy to translate these languages into Solidity?
Proxy is very close, but we call it a sandbox.
Okay.
So the sandbox would compile the JavaScript code and translate that into assembly code and commit the result back to the Ethereum. Yeah. We have the trust from the eigenlayer network. So the premises is that our network are functioning correctly, that the JavaScript code are compiled correctly.
And we were talking earlier about, I'm trying to find, was it super? Yes, super transactions. That was like the last thing I wanted to bring up. This is something that's unique to Ava Protocol. So what exactly is this, and how does it benefit a user, like a retail token holder, and how does it benefit a developer or dApp builder?
Yeah, we coined the term of super transaction for Web3. If you search for super transaction, it shows up on Google. So the idea is that instead of scaling the Web3 world horizontally, meaning making it faster and cheaper, we want to scale that like vertically, meaning the transaction can do more. So the super transaction not only provide much lower gas cost, but also providing more powerful transaction. Let me give you an example. You can say, I want to set up a daily cost averaging strategy to daily buy Ethereum because the price is low today, this month or these 3 months. So you can do that with one click, one sign. So our automation will trigger your daily cost averaging order every day based on your criteria.
And is this through like a hot wallet because there's some sort of account abstraction that's embedded?
Exactly, through Smart Wallet.
Got it.
The most direct use case would be if you're a Coinbase customer, Coinbase already has, you can already see the Smart Wallet in the Coinbase account. So Coinbase, if you trust Coinbase, basically you trust the security of their Smart Wallet. We hold very little liability in, we just delegate our automation through those smart contracts. We don't own those.
Right. So you mentioned like DCA as a use case, but what about like if I want to get a .ens name? And
that's a big use case. I just had a panel with the ENS at the last conference. The big pain in the ass for me is that I'm trying to get a lot of ENS names. I think because it's like domain,
yes.
The domain games in the 2000 bubble.
Yeah, it's squatting on ENS names.
Right, they have a declining curve of the price when the domain expires. But it's really hard to tell. So let's say I want to buy this domain when the price dropped to $500. It's really hard to tell like when that happens. You kind of have to check block by block.
Yes.
But I don't have time to do that. So one collaboration we were discussing with them is to create this automated function to set up a limit order on the ENS domain names that you really like. You can set like, okay, it's going to expire in 3 months after today, and my threshold is $500. I'll set up the limit order. My order will live for 4 months. So just make sure I have enough time to get the domain.
And so it sounds like you're also providing some sort of like on-chain order book-like system. So what are the complexities involved with that?
I would not say it's an on-chain order book.
Okay.
I would say is that it's a similar function. No, it's more of on the user's side. So it's like a user's intent. It's do you want to set up a limit order or stop loss order or iceberg order, TWAP order, or DCA daily buy.
Right.
So we ask you these questions, and you choose your order type, and then we trigger those orders against the order books, which are Uniswap, 1inch, those DEXs.
Cool. So kind of like zooming out, you're a builder here in the States. We have like regulatory ambiguity. What is like the level of decentralization at Ava Protocol, and does like a potential positive or negative outcome in terms of crypto legislation impact the way that you view building here in the States?
Yeah, we are asking the same question to our lawyers, but so far the question we get is that it's not like we're not running a DEX.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's like we store users' intent securely in our AVS network and trigger those intent when conditions are right. It's kind of like an AI agent. Oh, by the way, we have AI component
Yes.
in the solution, so you can say, okay, find me a trading strategy that can, with this risk, and earn like 80% APY. So we would search all the templates that user created and give you some examples. But that's the only advice we give you from the platform.
Yeah, I mean, legal advice changes from lawyer to lawyer as well. So you brought up AI agents. What's kind of on the roadmap in terms of how you're building for AI agents? Right now, it's very easy to just kind of use them for trading strategies, but AI is going to become a part of our day-to-day life even more than ChatGPT is today. So how are you kind of preparing for that?
We develop a little bit. So I have a lot of AI founder friends. I wouldn't say that we are developing AI technology. So what we use is a large language model plus in-context training. So the AI box understand the user's questions more on our platform than other general platforms. So they would recommend you, these are templates my fit your needs. And we have AI input on the side of each box, like each module, each Lego building block, that you can just have very short, small AI code in the box.
Very cool. So what's kind of next on the roadmap for Ava Protocol?
We want to incorporate privacy. So that's a big challenge. Right now, we're adding MEV protection to our users. It's like if you pay a little additional fee, you can opt into the MEV protection. So MEV protection is done pretty well in the industry. We have mature solutions over there. But privacy is a big challenge. We're shopping around to see which privacy solution is the most suitable for us. The idea is that nobody, like right now our server can still see people's users' action, what they want to do.
Okay.
So we want those intent goes to the hardware enclave directly. Like even the programmers as Ava Protocol couldn't see those intent.
It's in the trusted environment.
There you go. Yeah. I wouldn't bring the TEE term to confuse.
I know it's
audience,
also it's a hot topic sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. So this is the beginning of day 2 at Permissionless 3. You had a whole day here. Do you have any kind of key takeaways or something that stood out at this event so far?
I'm very surprised by the quality of the hackathon participants of this conference. We hosted a hackathon. We have 2 challenges: product design and building SDK challenges. Got 18 submissions, high quality.
Cool.
So really love that, and really encourage developers to participate in this type of hackathon. We have ETH San Francisco next week, and participate in our challenge.
So who do you want to talk to, and what's the best way they can reach out to you?
Developers, if you are building a Web3 application on Ethereum or Layer 2s, talk to us.
Awesome. Chris, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Dylan.
If you want to hear any of the other interviews we've had here at Permissionless, head over to the Neo News Today YouTube channel to see all of those videos.